and welcome to a very special collab celebrating PAX West. And this is the pilot of a podcast we've been discussing for quite a while, being the Sonic and Mario podcast.
I mean, I remember being in my underwear, like at the age of like 6 months, and telepathically talking to a stranger, being like, you know, when I'm almost 30 years old, I want to do a Sonic and Mario podcast. What do you think?
I would have been like -6. So, you know, it hasn't been. I would say the idea came about around June. We went to too many games. We had a really fun time. It was a time filled with just amazing moments like a smushed orange cupcake. I offered my friend Shane a smushed orange cupcake from my backpack that was smushed by a kablooey cartridge. And when I said, "Do you want this?" And I was sleep deprived, so I don't know what I was thinking. He's like, no! And that stuck with us. And then there were so many fun things at too many games, although this trip has just been even more insane. We're gonna definitely talk about that more. But PAX West has like been one of the most fun conventions, but also this is a story to tell my future grandkids. See, back when I went to PAX West.
Okay, we're gonna have to like cut the horrible geriatric impersonation right there. You know, we don't want to offend the older people that might be watching this. We respect our elders. We love you. We look to your advice every single day.
I thought they would be playing Atari, because that's ancient.
Ew, that's old. I don't want that.
See, you're just as bad. Now that's what we call a hypocrite. So, the beginning of the podcast, we'd like to discuss the first Mario and Sonic game that we've ever played, and what it got us into the series. Now obviously I'm on Team Mario because, you know, I actually like quality gaming. He'll put up with a Sonic 06, he'll put up with a Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, he'll put up with so much.
You need the pizzazz and the atmosphere.
Food, water, atmosphere.
What's so great about a plumber just walking around a grassy kingdom rescuing a princess?
People don't go to a game for atmosphere, they go for games. Gameplay.
Atmosphere, pizzazz, sound design.
What's the theme?
story.
Underwater?
That's boring.
Well, it's pretty ironic that you say that about Mario, because what actually got me into the Mario series is something that I've criticized quite a bit. And that is none other, and I actually got a copy of it, although this is not my childhood copy of the game. This is one that I got at Too Many Games. I got it because this is a really cool box art. I've never seen a DS case like this before, and that is none other than New Super Mario Bros.
I think I just vomited in my mouth.
You actually like this game, from what you've told me, but the thing is, this right here was the bane of Mario fans' existence up until Super Mario Odyssey. But it was an amazing game to get into Mario, because what it did is this game brought a new generation into the Mario series. It brought back 2D Mario, but also introduced a lot of concepts that were new, and it took the engine of Super Mario 64 DS and translated it into 2D. So at the time, it was revolutionary, and when you go back to it, there actually was a lot new about it. The problem is that there were 3 other games after this. If you want to count Luigi U, that's 5. If you want to count Super Mario Run, that's 6. If you want to count the Super Mario Maker games, that is about 9 times that we saw New Super Mario Bros. So, people were getting tired of it, and Super Mario Bros. Wonder is what we needed. However, if it wasn't for New Super Mario Bros., I'm not sure if I would have gotten into the Mario series, because this was the first Mario game I got into, and it got me hooked. There's just something about it that this game just served as an amazing introduction and an amazing first Mario game. I will say, considering that this game is almost 2 decades old, oh my gosh, now I'm feeling old. It's time for the pill already, Pearl? Okay.
How old were you when you got this game?
When I got it, it was in 2010, so I would have been 10.
I want to jump off a cliff.
But
jump off a cliff.
The game, when it released, I would have been 6.
That's even worse.
That's even worse.
Because I was in middle school when that game came out.
Oh my gosh, that is insane, but
What?
I gotta say, I do say, this box art is really cool right here. I kind of like how it's just Mario and Luigi, and it just showcases that, yeah, this is a new Super Mario Bros. Game. Whereas the North American one, he just has the Mega Mushroom. The manual is actually that box art.
Oh, I remember this one.
Oh, and it still has the Club Nintendo card. Something for Picto Chat.
Oh my god, that's a throwback. I haven't thought about that in like decades, actually.
I miss when games had manuals. Yeah, this is the box art that I grew up with.
I used to complain about manuals when I was a kid, and now I really wish they never went away.
Now, why the hell would you complain about them?
Well, because who wants to read the manual to like before doing anything?
It has all the cool artwork.
I think my problem with like manuals in like the past is that some games that had manuals felt like they didn't have to actually explain how to play the game when you start playing it. So like lack of a tutorial, for instance, they're just like, oh, just look at the manual. I was like, no, you should still have something in the game to, you know, warm your way up into it and help you like learn how to play the game through actual experience. And what if I can't read?
I mean, can you?
Well, yeah, but that's not the point. I could be Sheldon, Plankton's cousin.
Hey, why ain't you running?
Well, I can't read.
Get out of here!
Alright, I get it!
But like, what do you think like really attracted you to that game ultimately when you were playing it? That turned you into the hideous monster we have today.
Sorry, that's a coping mechanism. No, what got me into it, I just really enjoyed the gameplay, probably the presentation. It was just a lot about the game. It was something that I really enjoyed. It's hard to describe, but I just found it really fun. I really liked the characters. It's just something that I really resonated with. And then I got into the series itself. So I will say, characters, gameplay, there's a reason why so many fans of Mario are in the world. I don't know about Sonic though.
There's plenty of Sonic fans. I mean, have you seen the numbers the Sonic movie 3 trailer is doing? That's gonna become the best video game movie of all time.
I don't think so, but
Absolutely will.
you do you.
I mean, a girl's gonna get shot in it, so that's gonna be great.
Maybe they'll cut that out.
They're not gonna cut that out.
So this has me wondering, what was your introduction to Mario?
Oh, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this so much. So, I can't remember the very first time I ever even realized Mario was a thing. Back when I was a kid, which was unfortunately before you were even born.
Quite a while before.
The very first console that my dad ever got me was actually a PlayStation 1. So obviously I wouldn't have had any exposure to Nintendo up to that point. The second console my dad ever got me was an Xbox. So there was absolutely no way I was ever gonna get into Mario. Eventually I finally got a GameCube, and the only reason I got a GameCube was because I wanted the Sonic exclusive GameCube games, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, Sonic Adventure DX. Ever heard of them? Greatest platformers of all time.
Yeah, that's not even up for debate. I can think of pretty much every Mario game is gonna be better than those.
But
Well, every mainline game.
so I would say that like I got my GameCube in my first year of middle school, so I was in 6th grade when I got the GameCube. And when I got the GameCube, you know, of course I got the Sonic games and stuff, but I was also on message boards. So this is how we communicated before social media. We had different...
That was before my time.
We had different message boards. Oh my god. If anyone in there in the comment section remembers Envision Free Board, then let me know in the comments, because you know what it was like. But we used to like create these like custom message boards where you could like talk about games like one section, movies in another section. So there'd be a bunch of Sonic ones that I was a member of, and I even created a few of them. I would create one and then it would just die in a month because I didn't know how to stick to anything. And throughout my exploration of all those different message boards, talking to all these different people about all these different kinds of games, a certain plumber kept popping up in the conversation.
This is good. I know where this is going.
Over and over again. So, Mario was definitely something I was very well aware of by the time I got GameCube. And I was like, you know what? I hear so much about Mario. It can't be as good as Sonic, you know, because Sonic is just amazing. And so, I got the flagship Mario game on the GameCube, which was Super Mario Sunshine.
I already know about a little bit of his background with Super Mario Sunshine. He did a review of it back in 2006, completely trashing the game.
Within like 10 to 15 minutes of playing it, I absolutely hated it. I was like, this is so slow and so awkward. And obviously, this plot is copying Sonic Adventure 2 with its plot line. I mean, fake Mario? Shadow the Hedgehog, anyone?
It all starts with this. A jewel containing the ultimate power.
That's the Chaos Emerald! Now I know what's going on. The military has mistaken me for the likes of you!
Behold this sketch of the perpetrator based on eyewitness descriptions. The truth is obvious. The guilty party sits among us. It is none other than Mario.
Objection! Overruled. I judge the defendant guilty as charged.
It's not even close.
He copied me.
He copied. What?
me.
Did the intro last for like 7 minutes, and that took up most of the game?
Actually, it did last 7 minutes at least. Because it's what? How does the game start? You know, Mario's on like a plane, right, with Peach.
Yeah,
and
Mario's
he, has
going to
like,
Isle Delfino.
and it has to like clean up some sort of like really disgusting mess on the pier, and then he gets put in jail and stuff.
I didn't think the icky paint-like goop looked disgusting. I thought it looked more appetizing.
You thought that looked appetizing?
Yeah, one of them
You would
looked
be
like...
one of those kids that would have eaten Tide Pods back then.
No. No, the icky paint-like goop, it looked like chocolate. It looked like the swirl ice cream.
I would have never thought chocolate. I thought more like vomit, if anything.
Well, one of them did, but it just
Anyway.
depends on the color combination, but either way.
When I played the game, I think part of me just couldn't figure out how to like get used to the controls. And so I just kept playing it. It just felt so slow. I remember this one part in like the first part of the game where you're chasing after that fake Mario throughout Isle Delfino. And it took me like 15 minutes to finally catch him. And I thought, this is the worst thing I've ever played. This is so awkward. Why would anyone play this over Sonic Heroes? So...
Because it has... Well, I actually do like Sonic Heroes to an extent. See, the thing with Mario Sunshine is that it has its problems, but that's mostly when you're doing 100%. I think that Super Mario Sunshine is a phenomenal Mario game.
Well, I wasn't even trying to 100% it. I was just trying to get through the game.
You're probably playing it wrong, but I'm looking forward to you going back to Super Mario Sunshine.
I don't know about that.
But
we're gonna have to talk about that afterwards.
this is a Mario hot take. I will say that it is better than Super Mario 64. I enjoy Super Mario Sunshine way more.
I disagree with that. I think Mario 64 is a better game. At least right now. That might change as we actually go through this podcast and go through some of these titles. But when I recently revisited Sunshine through that 3D All-Stars collection, my opinion did not really change that much. I still think the game is very awkward to control. So...
I'm trying to get it, but I don't understand it because Super Mario Sunshine is one of the best controlling 3D Mario games. There's so much freedom with the movement.
That just doesn't sound right to me.
It just seems like you don't like freedom.
It's so awkward. What?
Oh no, now he's having dreams too?
What?
I'm just trying to exercise my freedom of speech. It's obvious that he prefers the controls in 3D land.
I actually don't think I've ever played that, to be honest.
It's the 3DS one.
Well, that's why I haven't played it.
He's just getting into Street Pass, but I saw how he was at the convention.
Well, I was only doing it because I had nothing else to do.
Nah, he's hooked on Street Pass.
No, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I won't. Who knows? My Mario story does get better as time goes on, but if you want to hear more about that, then you'll just have to keep tuning into the podcast because as we go through some more of these Mario and Sonic titles, you'll kind of hear a little bit more about our history with some of these titles and stuff, and you'll kind of see where like the light switch happened for me when it comes to Mario. But right now we are in 6th grade era Riders DX, and 6th grade era Riders DX thought Mario was the most embarrassing and terrible thing in the world, and that's what it was like to be me at that age.
It's funny because, this goes into your podcast more, but when we're doing the Sonic side, it's funny because I shortly played Sonic after Mario, like in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I will say, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. Sometimes I can, but not in this case.
Well, I also think that like when you're a kid and you have such limited scope and such a limited library of games you've actually played through, you have so little to compare it to. And so what have I played up to this point when I was in 6th grade trying out Mario Sunshine for the first time? I played through a bunch of licensed PS1 games like Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, Tom and Jerry House Trap, and on the Xbox I played through Sonic Heroes, and then SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. I really feel like SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom was actually, to be fair, my first real Mario-like experience, because that game does take a lot from Mario. That's a game I really enjoyed. It's one of my favorite platformers to date. So I associate like that kind of platforming with SpongeBob. So I was like, wow, SpongeBob, it really is like the king of platformers, you know?
SpongeBob, Patrick.
We need like,
Squidward,
you know, next time we do,
Peach.
next time we do one of these podcasts, I'm going to have duct tape right here, and it's just gonna be slapped on your face, and I will know peace.
I need work done? Oh, there's so many jokes from the crowds and stuff, but
I think that's a good transition into talking a little bit about PAX, because as you all know, we have PAX West shirts right here. That's where we're at right now. That's where we're filming this.
That's why we got this lovely setup of the Ramada near the SeaTac airport. Our setup is literally, there's like no space here, and one side of the view, we'll actually get this in the video. One side is like super nice looking, and then the other is like a junkyard.
So I would love to hear in the comment section which of us you think is which. Who is the nice side of the podcast and who is the junkyard?
You know, I already know I'm probably gonna get the junkyard.
Well, yes. Absolutely.
Oh my god. So just thinking about the convention. Okay, so in terms of like the experience, since this is Mario themed, we got to play Super Mario Party Jamboree early, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that was really fun, actually.
I do wish they showed the actual boards and like we could play those, but it's just like, yeah, when it comes to Mario Party demos, like, this is an obscure reference, but on the GameCube, if you got Mario Kart Double Dash and it came with a bonus disc, you would get the Mario Party 5 demo, and it was just mini-games. I believe Coney Island was one of them, and mini-games are half of Mario Party, but when we just played the mini-games, they were really high quality. The one that I had the most fun playing was the one where you were turning it. You had to turn the wheel to get the coins and avoid the bombs, and you had to go against the other team. So there was a lot of strategizing with it.
Yeah, they were all fun, honestly, but I didn't find them like too memorable. But we only played them like twice, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, we first played them on Friday.
I would say I think the most memorable one, I guess, actually was the one where you had to like, it was in that volcano area, and you had to pick one of 4 choices in terms of like blocks, and if I don't feel like explaining the game. You can just put it.
So what you had to do is you had to make a bridge with the blocks, and you had to make sure that none of the other players selected the pattern that you were gonna do, because you wouldn't be able to get it. Now that part's just luck right there. So there definitely is that element of luck Mario Party's known for.
I just found that to be super memorable for some reason. I also thought that Princess Peach and Paulina both slayed in terms of their fashion, so that was great.
Pauline, yes. The first character I played as was Peach. But, yeah, I mean, what fate, I guess? I don't want to play as Peach.
No, why don't you want to play as Taylor Swift?
That's exactly why. But in terms of Mario Party Jamboree, Super Mario Party Jamboree's actual name. Wow, that is a mouthful of a title. Super Mario Party Jamboree.
Jamboree sounds like, you know, when you eat like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, Jamboree sounds like something you could put on top of that. Like it's like a very like feisty little jam that can go in that sandwich perfectly fine. I don't know if that's the only...
That probably is a brand for that.
If I'm the only person that thinks that, it just sounds like food.
It does, but also Jamboree is a large party, so essentially, it's looking to be the ultimate Mario Party, but can't really say if I can tell just yet, because we didn't play any of the boards. We didn't use any of the mechanics for the boards, so it was just the mini-games. And when you got that, you still have fun mini-games, but you're not really getting the rest of the experience. Although I will say, the game looks gorgeous from a presentation standpoint. There was this mini game where you had to team up and cut a steak, and that steak looked big juicy. It looked good.
Yeah, guys, we really need a swear jar of every single thing I find annoying about you. And every time you say any of them, you have to put $1 in there, and I would become a billionaire in no time. I would. And you know, the first thing I would do is force Nintendo to put out a statement saying that Mario sucks and Sonic was always better.
That's not how to become a Nintendo ambassador. The way to become a Nintendo ambassador is to sell your soul.
Well, I've always sold my soul. Why do you think I'm here?
Well, you are a Sonic fan. You probably put up with a lot over the years, so I understand it.
I mean, I will say that like PAX West had a lot of stuff for Nintendo and Mario in particular. There was
That's
just
what I like to see.
Yeah, when we get to the Sonic part of the podcast, we're gonna talk about how disappointing it was in that aspect. But I will say that I did have a favorite Mario memory during this convention that I have to mention. I know you told me not to mention it, but we are gonna mention it. So there was this really awesome arcade off to the side of the convention called GameWorks, which is owned by Sega, by the way. It was founded by Sega. We found this out earlier today.
It's too bad they didn't have an F-Zero AX cabinet.
Right? That would have been so much fun. But one of the arcade games that Dimitri and I played head-to-head was the Mario Kart arcade game. I don't even remember what the name is.
Mario Kart Arcade Grand Prix Deluxe.
Wow, that is a mouthful. But, guess who won?
It was a fluke.
Guess who won?
Well, okay, he won, but he
won.
He pulled a Billy Mitchell and was cheating.
How was that cheating?
You threw a tornado at the end, and you're like, I won.
That was in the rules of the game. You
didn't actually cheat, but it was a fluke. Just like Mario Party, there is an element of luck. But I guarantee you, if we played more rounds, I would have beaten you.
You know, I think GameWorks is open tonight. You want a rematch?
Maybe, yeah, thanks. So,
you have no idea how satisfying it was to see your face in second place. Well, actually, no, I hate it. Yeah, so, the arcade game has a really interesting feature where it takes a picture of your face and puts it in like the player icon thing. And Dimitri, you've seriously have traumatized me for who knows how long at this point. Thanks to that picture, so.
I did like a face like this. And I put it on there. I tried to make my face get like really red. Like, have you ever tried that where you're just like, don't try that because I think it can like pop a blood vessel.
And then you'll blow up.
Maybe that would happen if we had more Jack in the Box.
Oh, that was terrible.
It was terrible? I actually thought it was good.
I hate Jack in the Box.
Then why'd you go?
Well, because you wouldn't stop talking about it.
No, I talked about it a few times.
You were like, every night you were like, where's Jack in the Box? Where's Jack in the Box?
No, that wasn't every night. What I was like every night is... excuse me.
Oh my gosh. You can tell that we actually had a really good time at this convention.
Now we're just celebrating Super PAX West the day after.
But like lots of fun Mario-centric memories, I would say for sure.
Just very fun in general.
So,
but I think a good way to wrap this up is what we're doing for the podcast is we get to choose what game the other person plays in the Mario and Sonic series.
I've been really anxious about this for like the whole day. In his defense, this was actually my idea. So I did bring this onto myself.
All right. Are you ready to hear what your first Mario game is going to be?
No, but...
Hey, at least it wasn't a hard, solid, no! You're probably gonna get a noise complaint for that one.
Yeah, the walls here are so thin, actually. I could hear... No, we're not going there. We're not going there.
We could have gone to the Motel 6.
We're getting too off topic. So tell me what is the first Mario game we will be covering for this podcast?
You ready for it?
No.
Alright. It is an introduction to Mario. You're gonna learn all the basics, and it serves as a foundation for the series.
Alright.
Can you guess what it is?
Is it the first game?
Kinda close.
Oh. What else? What other game could it be?
Well, I guess it's not the first game, and I guess they're all kinda close with 2D Mario. But your first assignment is New Super Mario Bros. Wii. I feel like that is a great foundation for Mario and has like all the basics. So,
I've actually played that like during PAX East. I think that was a game that Uncle Nick wanted me to play, right? So I think the context of this is that one of the things you can do at PAX is there's like these console free play rooms where you can go in and rent out a game for a little bit and play a game on almost like any console that's ever existed. So apparently there was some sort of like tournament or some kind of like competition where you had to play like a certain like New Super Mario Bros. Wii level, and if you got like the highest score, you could win some sort of prize. So Uncle Nick was like texting me, being like, "Hey, can you come and help me play and make this record?" I'm like, first of all, why are you asking me?
you should ask me for that one.
I think you were gone actually that day. That was like the last day, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but I'm like, why are you asking me? First of all, even if I had played that game, which that was one of the games I played growing up, but even having played that game, I'm not the person to ask to help break a record and help you win a prize.
It's all in the public records.
So he had me come down, and I sat there for an hour straight playing the same level over and over again to try to break the stupid record. And I'm just like, I remember why I don't like 2D Mario. So you've chosen a great game for me to start out with.
It's gonna be exciting to see, but yeah, I think this is a good wrap up for the pilot episode of the Sonic and Mario podcast.
Yeah.
If you liked it, feel free to recommend what Mario game I should suggest he plays next. If you want to go to PAX, I highly recommend it. We had a great time. I will say PAX West is better than PAX East, but both of them are really fun.
They are.
But West just has more to... It can be a bit overwhelming.
I think the best part of the convention is it would be meeting us.
I would say so too.
It would be meeting us. We would be the best part. So, just so you know.
Actually, no, the best part is going to be all the fun stories and stuff. And all the insane moments that happen. From smushed orange cupcakes to just everything. It's been a great time. But yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to Riders DX.
And actually, head over to my channel now, because we're about to go over the second half of this episode.
Part 2! Part 2!
Which will be the Sonic side of this. So we're going to do the exact same thing we just did, but with Sonic. So it's going to be way better than this one. So you'll want to come in and check it out.
Do we still have that pie to finish that you got me for Employee Brotherhood Day?
What pie? Oh! Well, I want you to experience some Sonic games before I have you eat a pie and blow up. So we'll save that for later.
But yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching and keep calm and dada on. The only reason why this is happening is because I'm lost in Mario Kart.
Demeech is a brand new inducted Sonic fan. Rule number 1, Mario is terrible. Rule number 2, Sonic is your idol, your life, your everything.
And now you only eat chili dogs.
And he's gonna eat Billy Dogs.
I'm not eating Billy Dogs.
Billy Dogs are Vienna sausages, smoked in mayo, and served with
Oh, I cannot.
Absolutely horrifying. Oh, you're playing Silver. Let's see how long it can last. Oh, good job. Good job. 5 tickets. Good job.